Hi everyone and welcome to Creative Cakes by Sharon. Today I'm creating another very popular request from you guys, and that's for a Rapunzel or tangled cake. If you're new to my channel, welcome and thanks for tuning in. Rapunzel is part of my Disney Princess Cakes playlist, and you can check out all of the other princesses I've made by clicking the link you see on screen now. Make sure you're also subscribed to my channel so you can stay up to date with all of my creative cakes and recipes which I post each week. So let's get started. I have here my template for Rapunzel, and you can get a link in the description box below to get a copy of this. It prints across 2 pages and you just need to cut it out and stick it together. I've got a 10-inch square cake as well as a cake board. I've got my fondant roller, I've got some buttercream frosting and some white chocolate ganache, a pair of scissors, a sharp knife, my palette knife and offset spatula. I'll also be using a black edible marker and my X-Acto blade. I'm using some yellow fondant, some skin toned fondant, some very light pink fondant, a little bit of white, green and black. I've also got some dark pink sanding sugar here, and I'll be using some petal dust to highlight Rapunzel's face, and I've got green, cream and pink, as well as a few fluffy brushes. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill the centre of my cake with the buttercream frosting. Now I've got my template here positioned on top of the cake, and I'm just going to use my knife to carefully cut all the way around the template. Because I like to create a few different layers in the cake, I need to cut the template into different sections. So when I look at a template, I always look at where the different depths of the picture are and then work out what layers I'm going to create. So for Rapunzel, I'm going to cut out a few different sections of her hair, her face and her neck. The next step in creating layers is to look at the picture and work out which sections are closer and which sections are further away from you. The sections that are closer will be the ones that are cut very shallow into the cake, and the sections that are further away are the ones that are going to have the deepest cuts. So I'm starting off with one section of her hair, and this is quite close in the picture, so I'm just going to really skim off the very top crust of the cake. I always run my knife around the edge of the template, so when I come and cut from the sides, the cake simply lifts off. Now I'm going to cut the other 2 sections of her hair on this same side, and there are 2 different levels here. So I'm going to cut the first one a little bit deeper than the first layer that I've created, and the second one's going to be deeper still. I'm going to use a palette knife to help me scoop the cake out easily. Now moving on to the other side of her hair, I need to create a nice deep layer for the background of her hair there, and then also her neck and her face. Guys, thank you to every one of you who have recreated one of my cakes and shared a photo of it with me on either my Facebook page or Instagram. It's so exciting for me to see your cakes, and I'm so thrilled every time someone recreates a cake. It's so fantastic to be able to share and learn of each other. So do remember that if you do create something that you've seen on my channel, make sure to send me a note. Now that all the carving's done, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 layers in my cake. Now I can cover the entire thing with my white chocolate ganache and then pop it in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now I've removed my cake out of the fridge and the ganache is still reasonably soft to touch, so I'm going to actually put on a pair of disposable kitchen gloves and I'm going to smooth over the ganache using my hands. The heat from my hands is going to be just enough to melt the chocolate slightly, so that when I glide over the chocolate it's going to melt just enough to get a smooth surface. This is perfect if you've got lots of crevices and deep holes in your cake that you need to smooth out. At this point, I'm going to carefully transfer my cake onto my cake board. Now I'm going to start working on covering the cake with the fondant. So once I've rolled out my yellow fondant, which is going to be for her hair, I'm going to take one section of the hair, and once I've placed it on the template, I need to make sure that there is enough clearance in the fondant so that it covers this side of the cake as well as the top of the cake. So for each section of hair that I cut, I'm going to carefully place it onto the cake, smoothing down the sides and trimming off the edges. For the deepest sections of the hair, I found the easiest way to smooth out the fondant was to use the back of my paintbrush or even the back of my X-Acto blade, because it was nice and smooth, to push the fondant right down deep into the cavity. Using the back of my paintbrush now, I'm going to add some lines to Rapunzel's hair to create a little bit more depth and interest to the cake, and later on when I'm nearly finished, I'm going to use these lines to add some petal dust into the creases. I've rolled out some skin coloured fondant, and using the neck section of the template, just taking off the sleeves from her dress, I'm going to cut this out of the fondant and put it onto the cake. Now for Rapunzel's face. Before I put the fondant on the cake for her face, I'm just going to create a tiny little nose using the template as a guide and pop that onto the cake and then cover her face with the fondant. Moving on to the features now, I've cut the eyes out of the template and I'm just going to cut them out using some white fondant, lay it under some green fondant as well as a black pupil, not forgetting the top of the eyelids out of some skin coloured fondant, and of course finished off with the eyelashes. For the lips, I'm just using some light pink fondant, rolling it in my palm, tapering it at both ends and using the template as a guide. For the eyebrows, I'm also going to use some of this pink fondant. It doesn't really matter what colour it is because I'm going to dust over it with some of my cream petal dust at the end. So once I've got the shape of the eyebrows, I'm going to leave them on the side to form and dry for a few minutes. You can see here I've finished covering the cake with the light pink fondant for the sleeves of her dress, and I'm just using a wet paintbrush to dampen certain sections of the sleeves so that I can sprinkle on my sanding sugar and get a beautiful little effect on her dress. The sanding sugar is only going to stick to the areas that I moisten, and the rest of it can be just brushed off or blown off. I wanted to add a little bit more bulk to her sleeves, so I've rolled out some fondant and I'm just sticking them to the middle sections of where the sanding sugar was. And I've just finished off her sleeves with a little frill. So now I'm going to use my petal dust and really make the cake pop. So starting off with some cream over the eyebrows, which I'll then stick on the cake. and then making sure that I get the petal dust into the areas that I want to create the deepest shadows as well as the highlights in her hair. I'm going to use some of the pink to create some blush on her cheeks and of course bring some life into her lips. I used some green on her eyes to create some light and dark areas. And to finish off, I thought she really needed a little curl right at the top of her hairline. And last but not least, I've just used my black edible marker to outline the greens of her eyes. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching me create Rapunzel. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends. I love to get your feedback and your comments, so don't forget to drop me a line in the comment section below. Remember, if you do happen to create one of my cakes or recipes, I'd love to see them, and you can connect with me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram or Twitter. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so you can stay up to date with all of my creative cakes as I release them. I hope you tune in next time, and as always, thanks for watching.